today. Even though overall the market's been really nasty, this is probably the spot where we start to round a little bit. So, it's just something kind of to keep an eye on. We've come a long way at this point. My guess is, we start to round somewhere around in these levels over here. It could even be right around here. So, I think the fun part is probably over on the short side. Market breadth has been really low. We'll see how we handle today's gap. Obviously, with today's gap, when you gap up, you're always in danger of losing a lot of range. But we do have a gap fill over here that we've got to get to. So, we'll have to watch. My gut feeling on how this kind of works out today, we're going to gap up a little bit, flush back down a little at the open, and we'll have to see how we act around the 9 EMA, 20 EMA, and then we'll go, in from there and get this thing, get this party going. Same thing with the SPY. You can see here, you got a gap fill kind of right up in here. We're starting to test this area. Now we'll start to see. Now we'll start to see how it goes. Dun 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 dun. Hey Cody, what's up? Oh, hey Ryan, how you doing? All right, cool. So, look, your watch list is going to be a little light today with such a gap. I'd stick with the ETFs on the small cap side. A lot of people are, this solo is like a kind of an IPO breakout. The float on this thing's going to be tiny, 8.5 million shares. I wouldn't chase this thing up at the open, but frankly, this one's going to have a little bit of juice. I wouldn't chase this at the open at all, though. I mean, this thing's at 210, it's going to be 200-something%. Let it come back and see how it's going to act today. And from there, we'll see exactly what's going on. But I'd add it to the list for now. But don't chase that thing up. And a lot of these little shippers are kind of popping up today. Man, shippers do suck to trade. But every blue moon, about once a year, they do have a little bit of fun. You're seeing that kind of DCIX, tops. You're seeing a little gap in a lot of these. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on. Drice. Those are probably the three easiest, I think, shippers to usually day trade. The rest of them are really, really kind of, they're really, really specialty stocks. You could go with Craig too. I know a couple of you guys are asking about this stuff. I'd put all those on the list if you like these little kind of small cap stocks. On the regular stock side, watch this DRNA today. This one's got 35 million share float. It's gapping up over here. It's a biotech stock. I'd see if this thing passes kind of through that 18. It's been rejected by the old high already. We need to see it kind of break over that level, and we'll kind of get this thing going. We got solo, and then on the downside, I keep this Tower Semiconductor on the watch list for an ORB. Look, when the market itself gaps up like this, every single stock is going to show on your gapper list, right? Like you'll see all these little duds that have been like oversold. They'll all start gapping up big because the market itself is having a major gap. And so that causes individual stocks that don't have necessarily a PR or some type of earnings to actually come out and gap up with the market. And so you have to be careful on those. And you don't want to chase anything at the open when you see everything opening up 5 or 6%, you got to make sure you don't chase it at the open. Let it pop up and then come back to that 9 EMA or 20 EMA, even if we need a little bit larger pullback, and see where it holds and then kind of play it back to the upside. Gut feeling the market does hold up today, but we may see a slight pullback at the open. So, probably I'll be staying away from these kind of like the TVIXs and stuff today. I think this thing's got to just come back a little bit at this point. I don't know. I think this one's had a nice run at this point. I know everybody wants to keep playing this. My dad's been asking me about this every day, but it had a nice run at this point. You know, easy money's probably over on it. You know, you can still kind of day trade it back and forth if you can have shorts on it, but not necessarily anything that is on my top list. Dun, 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 dun. Yakko. Look, this one had a big day on Friday, and, you know, it was a nice trader. What I don't like about something like this is, like, when you get something that goes from 4 to 9, right, in a span of, like, an hour or two, and then it fades off the rest of the day, and, you know, then the next day you bust down another $1, you've already faded off almost the whole run. And so when you fade off the whole run like that, no matter where you open, there's going to be bag holders now all the way along, right? There's bodies buried basically every single level here. And so to get through that type of resistance, you got to have so much volume to kick through it. And so, you know, watch the volume today. If there's enough volume to suck through all the bag holders that have been left from this dump here and this dump here, then you'll be able to see probably it eat its way through, and you can start playing intraday setups on it. But till that happens, you got to leave it alone. It won't be the easiest play. Let's talk about the watch list. AMD's on its 200-day moving average. I think this one's looking a little bouncy at this point. You know, it's come down from 30, so it's been cut essentially 50%. It's on the 200 SMA, so it gives you a nice, easy way to manage your risk on that one. AMRN, this one's obviously been... I mean, this one's obviously been the strongest stock in the market pretty much, at least on a consistent basis. I think the gap kind of takes it out of the range a little bit. You know, that's going to take it outside its upper Bollinger Band. I was hoping for a weak open on this, a weak open in a red to green. I am a little bit wary on it kind of opening up over here because that's going to, you know, that's going to take it right outside the top of its Bollinger Band. It's already a little bit overbought, so you got to be careful with that one. Tesla, I think, has been a really good day trader the last few days. I'd watch this one and see if the dip holds at the open. It typically, after it runs like $100, it does kind of come back, so we'll have to kind of be careful. Ideally, you'd get kind of a couple-day pullback to the 200 SMA, but I think you got another day in this one if it holds up here. And then this NATI had an awesome day on Friday, so definitely this one, keep on your list. It had a good volume push on it. The range is decent, so I'd keep this one on your watch list too. Watch this thing if it dumps at the open, see if it goes red to green. That's probably the best way to play something like this. Hey Jordan, what's up, baby? How you guys doing? Anthony, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, Lions suck. There's no point of even trading when the Lions lose. Really throws everything in a Dun, 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 dun. FTC. Yeah, a couple people have been asked about FTC. You can put this on your list too. I didn't put this on the gapper list because it typically has just trades like shit. You know, I've seen this one gap now on 4 or 5 different earnings, you know, plays, and man, it just never follows through. And, you know, these ORBs haven't been working as well as they used to. It's like they gap down and then they squeeze for like an hour or two and then they roll over. And that makes the timing a lot more tricky. You know, it's a lot more fun when they just gap down and then they go sideways for like 5-10 minutes and then they flush, you know. That's a fast play. That's a fun play. But when they start to squeeze at the open and you got to sit there and watch it for 2 hours, that takes all the fun out of it for me. Hey, Mikey, what's up, baby? Amazon, yeah, so look, if it remounts its 200 SMA here, then I think this thing's a long, but like anything under the 200, I can't long it because it might just be stuck in resistance. But if it remounts, you know, that could be a nice low-risk spot for you where you can come in and get that thing going. So, guys, I got to get ready to start trading. As you guys know, I think we have a webinar tonight. I think my guys have posted a link. It'll be an awesome webinar on some of the stuff we do for trading, how to find earnings plays, you know, stuff like that since it's earnings season. And then tomorrow we'll have another one. So make sure you guys come in and, you know, do what you got to do for it. We'll see everybody in class. Viraj, what's up, baby? How you doing? Dun, 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 dun. I think the webinar starts 7 o'clock tonight, 7 or 8 o'clock. Don't quote me on it. It's one or the other. Does anybody remember? Shit. Yeah, I don't remember either. I think it's 8. Let's do this, people. We got things to do. It's Monday.